I'm Saturday hauling for you guys today, and I'm going to go ahead and start off with a couple repurchases. I got another bar of the Shea Moisture Shea Butter Soap. This one in particular is the Manuka Honey and Mafura Oil. I like the smooth utility bar from the brand the most, but that one's a little bit harder to find. And I was in Walmart and I grabbed this guy. And this one does have little particles in it, but they're not as large as the particles that are in the Black African soap, also from Shea Moisture. And I'm kind of making note of that because I love to use the Black African soap for washing my brushes. It also does a really good job of cleaning sponges, but that one has quite large particles of, I'm not exactly sure what it is, but like little kind of exfoliator particles, and that one tends to tear up sponges a little bit more. And this one does have some little particles in it, but I couldn't find the smooth bar that I like to buy. The utility one, and there's this green one, and they didn't have it in Walmart, and I'm like out of soap, and I'm somebody who washes my sponge every single day. So I just really love the Shea Moisture bar soaps in general to clean both sponges and makeup brushes. I also grabbed another one of the e.l.f. bite-sized brow palettes in neutral brown. It is this one right here. So there's two waxes and two brow shades in there, and what I like to use this for in conjunction with the e.l.f. brow soap, which is this guy right here. I'm going to show you guys the one that I have in use right here. I like to put a drop of water in the soap, mix my little spoolie in there, and dip in just a little bit of the powder, and then I go through my brows with it to kind of give the brow soap a bit of a tint. And mine is running pretty low. Sometimes I dip into the darker one, but primarily I like to use this shade. I kind of wish these were powders too, but they're waxes, and I don't really use a brow wax, but it's pretty affordable product. $4 I think is what this costed, and I was running low on mine, so I got another one of these guys right here. Again, I like to use the shade neutral brown, and I've got these two products in my brows right now, in addition to the NYX brow pen in ash brown, and I just been loving that combination of brow products. And a tried and true product for me is the Covergirl in Olay Simply Ageless Foundation. This has got an SPF of 28, and I use the shade 200 Fair Ivory like every single day for my eyeshadow primer. I've got dry eyelids, and a normal kind of eyeshadow primer just kind of constricts the skin and makes my lids look really dry. This is a more hydrating product, and it also has that SPF 28 in it, so I just really love what it does for eyeshadow, for blending on, and how it makes my lids look and kind of act as a primer on my drier lids. So I've been using this product for a really long time, and I also love to use this as a concealer underneath the eyes as well, and I like to kind of mix it with Classic Ivory, the shade 210. Primarily I use 200 for the eyeshadow primer, and the only place that I can find the shade 200 is in store at Walmart. I don't know like what's up with that, but that's the only place I can find that particular shade. So anyway, I did purchase a brand new one of the 200 for eyeshadow primer, and then also I like to use it, like I said, for concealer. It's just a really good product. If you've got dry lids and you have troubles with like blending shadows or like finding a good primer, try that out. And I don't set it, I just tap it over my lid and then go directly in with eyeshadow, and it just works really, really good. And even in the summertime, my shadow lasts really well over this. Again, I've got the dry eyelids. So anyway, that's the Covergirl in Olay Simply Ageless Foundation in the shade 200 Fair Ivory. They actually used to make that product in a concealer in a smaller pot. It was a little bit more coverage than the foundation, and I loved it. I used that product for years, and then they discontinued it. Now it comes in like that kind of range from the brand, comes in a pump style, and it's just not the same product. I'm like, Covergirl needs to bring back that concealer. They also had correctors, and it was such a lovely eye concealer. Also from Covergirl, I saw these new Simply Ageless Lip Flip liners. Overdrawn lips is what it says. So I decided to go ahead and get one of these. So it does say like new on there, and I thought I would kind of play it safe and get the Elegant Nude shade, thinking it would be a nude shade. It's not a nude shade, but anyway, it says there's hyaluronic complex in here, and what else is it supposed to do? That's all it says. That's what we're going with. The number one ingredient is castor seed oil, which is a nourishing kind of a oil. So anyway, this is Elegant Nude. This is what the packaging looks like, and this is not a nude. This is very much a pink berry color. It went on my lips really well, and I think that it looks pretty like the way that I mixed it in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills lipstick in the shade Haze. This is the liner that I have on my lips today with Haze from ABH, but it's just not the color that I thought it was going to be. And it's not a pointed tip either. It's one of those blocky square types. And I do just prefer a pointed lip liner and then kind of fading it in myself as opposed to a tip like this, but I'll kind of swatch it for you guys. It is just so not a nude shade. It's like a mid-tone berry pink color. And then I had actually purchased and hauled a lipstick that's also new in this same range from Covergirl, and it was a shimmering pink shade, and that was just really unflattering on the lips in my opinion. It kind of gathered in a weird way, and then it also had this funny kind of like chemical taste. Even though I just lined my lips with this liner and I just kind of used, you know, the flat side, so that's about as far as it went inwards, I still tasted that same type of like chemically taste as I had in the lipstick. So I don't know if that's because, you know, the castor seed oil or what, but I'm not crazy about that. As I've been wearing it throughout the day here, I haven't noticed it as much, but it is that same taste there. So I'm not super nuts about it. It's also not a long wearing product. It doesn't have like a super long staying power, but because this was like a deeper berry shade, because it wasn't super long wearing, I was really able to blend that haze shade into it to kind of get this lighter pink that I have on my lips right now. So that was kind of a plus of it, but it's not a long wearing formula by any means. It's an all right product. I'm just not, you know, crazy about it. But anyway, that is the Elegant Nude shade from the Covergirl Simply Ageless range, and that is what the packaging looks like right there. It does say on the packaging that this product is made in Mexico, and there's a total of 0.01 ounces of product in there. And then I saw a display for a new kind of range that I think is a Walmart exclusive, and if memory serves me correctly, I seen on social media somewhere, it's I think it's Halsey's affordable range for Walmart, I think. So I got one of the liners from the range. It's called AF94. This is a gel eyeliner in the shade Atomic. There's 0.17 grams or 0.006 ounces of product, and it's made in the PRC. So this is what the packaging looks like. It really kind of reminds me of like a Wet n Wild style packaging. There is a little sharpener on the other end there, and then you've got this gel liner. So this again is the shade Atomic right here, and this is what I actually have got on the waterline, and it glided on the waterline really well, and it built on itself really well too. And then I touched it up right before I started recording, and prior to that I had it on for about 3 hours, and I just kind of touched up the outer corner and wanted to see how it would layer or if it picked up the product, and it went over itself really well without like picking it up. And I've had just the most minimal amount of fading on the outer corner, but it's been lasting super well, so I'm excited about it. I might check to see if they have a blue shade next time I'm in Walmart, but so far so good on this product here. It's been wearing super well on the waterline. You can kind of see how it glides right there. Again, this is the shade Atomic, and this is the AF94 gel liner in Atomic. Really pretty color though. And then one of my favorite concealers, especially in the summertime, is the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer. And the shade that I have is 0N, which is the lightest in the range that you kind of see at all the retailers. And I had remembered seeing on the Dior website that they had another lighter shade. And so I finally went ahead and ordered it from Dior. So this is the shade 0N right here that I originally purchased. And I think you can actually see in the container that I don't know how much is left in here, but I use this concealer a lot. It's got a really nice wear time without being super drying, and it has lovely coverage. It's a really pretty concealer. So I got the shade 00, Universal Corrector shade, and this is super light. I wasn't expecting it to be this light, but that's okay because I can actually mix this lighter shade with other concealers that I have as well and kind of get a hint of this formulation in other concealers while also lightening them up. But I love the combination combination of these two. So the way that I've been using it is kind of like 2 parts of 0N to 1 part 00. And I'll go ahead and swatch the 2 shades together and then kind of mix them on the back of my hand. But I have got that combination underneath my eyes today. I love the 0N shade, but it deepens a little bit for my liking underneath the eyes. So again, I was wishing for just a little bit of something brighter. So this is kind of the perfect combination. I wish that Dior would just make like a light corrector pink shade. That in this formulation would just be the best in my opinion. Anyway, let's go ahead and swatch these. First, I will swatch the 0N shade. So yeah, both of these I'd say are pretty much neutral. There isn't a ton of pink in my opinion to the 00 shade, but this is so light. Like I was just not expecting it to be that light. But again, I can mix it and kind of get some of this formulation in deeper concealers that I have. So there is 0N. I kind of put a little bit more of the 00 color that I wanted on there. But I wanted to mix this on my hand so you could see kind of the color underneath my eyes. But if you tried the lightest shade in the Dior Forever Skin Correct and you wished for something lighter, the Dior website does carry that lighter shade. I think there's a total of maybe 30 shades on the website. So you can see 0N right there and then a mixture of the two kind of right there, and that's what I've got underneath my eyes today. It's just a really lovely product. It does say on the packaging 0.37 fluid ounces of product, which is a pretty lovely amount of product that you're getting. And then this particular product is made in France, so this is the box packaging right there. And then I also picked up one of the new Guerlain Ombre G eyeshadow quad multi-effect high color and long wear eyeshadow quads. So there are 4 shades that are 0.05 ounces a piece in here, which is a pretty decent amount of product that you're getting. And then this one here is made in Italy, of course, because the shadows are a baked gelée formulation. So this is the box packaging right here, and the shade that I got is 011 Imperial Moon, and I purchased mine off of Sephora. And like Nordstrom's and Neiman's have got more shades of this. I think Sephora has 4, and I want to say there's like 6 or 8 that are actually out there. So there are more colorways of this product, but only 4 at Sephora. So anyway, this is the little plastic piece that comes inside, and this does come with a little velvet pouch that says Guerlain on it, which is really hard to see. And I love the packaging. It's super pretty. It kind of has the Tom Ford vibes in the way that it opens, except for it's a little bit of the opposite where the top comes off as opposed to the other way around, kind of like the Patrick Ta blush duos. So it's got the lip right there, and then it closes like that. I do have quite a few older Guerlain quads, and the packaging is kind of similar to this, maybe just a dash heavier, but similar in terms of the weight of it. Those were also gold. But if we open this guy up, again, this is 11 Imperial Moon. Here's your color story. And this is an $85 quad. Granted, Guerlain is a luxury brand. You do have the little sponge tips. That one's got a little brush on there, which I do not ever use those. The shades in here are that baked gelée formula, which I love a baked gelée formula. And they're pretty colors, but the looks that I've gotten out of this, and I've tried it a couple different ways, just really, really bland. Again, I love a baked gelée formulation, but something about these colors is very run-of-the-mill to me, and for that $85 price tag, I just was like, I could get the same looks that I get out of this in like a, I'm gonna say it, like a $10 palette from the drugstore. Like, for real, that's kind of how the looks came out. So I didn't really feel like there was anything special, at least in this one. Maybe some of the other color stories will have more amp to them, but when you're talking again with that price tag, I want something a little bit more special than what I'm getting out of this, if that makes any sense. So let's go ahead and swatch it for you guys. Again, these are baked gelée formulation. These 2 shades right here are kind of like satins, and then these 2 are like a shimmery type of formula. I mean, you can even see like there's like this bit of sheerness to them that just doesn't pack a lot of interest, I guess. That's probably the prettiest shade that's in the palette, is this top corner one. It's just kind of like a silver with a dash of taupe to it, but I mean, I see that shade in a lot of different palettes. Maybe if it was like a duochrome or had a little bit more interest to it, but again, just very run-of-the-mill. And maybe it was just the color story that I picked out, but I just wasn't crazy about the looks that came out of it. They just look kind of muddy, and I do appreciate a muddy look every now and again, but it was like flat muddy, if that's a thing. Anyway, that's the new Guerlain Ombre G number 11 Imperial Moon. I wanted to wear that quad in this video for you guys today, but I'm going to an event afterwards and I didn't want to wear that quad. I wanted to wear something like prettier to the event, so I've got on Pat McGrath's new Mothership palette is what I've got on my eyes today, because that's the only palette, the Guerlain one, that I got in this last week. Like, who even am I? I do have a couple palettes in my Sephora bucket and stuff, but I've just been running like busy, like hard time like even focusing like on makeup, which is really strange for me, but I've just been like super busy. I've been buying a lot of tack, and I thought about like taking you guys through the tack room. I don't know, is that weird? Like, I know a lot of you guys want to meet the animals and stuff, which maybe I'll do that. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, that's all that I purchased this week, and the rest of the stuff is PR. So let's get into that. So Colourpop came out with new graphics ink liners, and the little card says, "Get in line, BB." So this is what came in the package, and there are 10 shades that they sent me. So it says all day wear, transfer proof and smudge proof. This long wearing formula dries down fast for liner looks that last. It's basically everything you'd want in a liner, like literally. That's what it says on the back. So I'm just going to kind of tell you a little bit about the formulation, because I've worn a couple of these shades. I don't have one on right now. These are a water-based formulation, and since I'm going to be outside at an event later on, my eyes tend to water more than I would like when I'm outside, and I didn't want them to move. So they do have a nice wear time. The times that I've worn them, I didn't have a ton of smudging, but when I'd had to continually wipe the water away from my eyes, I did get a little bit of movement out of them. I have got really watery, allergy prone eyes though. So other than that, if I didn't have any watering or anything like that, I didn't get any transfer or smudging or budging or anything like that. So let me show you guys what the packaging looks like. And these do have a felt tip applicator, which is not my favorite. I like a brush tip applicator, but something about the sponginess and the movement of this one feels like a brush. It's really flexible, and I almost feel like because the felt tip itself is kind of like spongy, it holds a nice amount of product, which for me, I really like, because it just makes doing my liquid liner a lot quicker. And there's some really pretty deep colored shades in here too that I really like. One thing that I did notice that for me, I did have to kind of do 2 coats of the liner to really get full opacity from them. But again, the shades are really pretty. So this one is Hype It Up, and it's a stunning teal. And had I not been going outside later on, I was going to wear this in today's look. So I think you can kind of see right there, I like to let the first coat dry and then go back over it to really get that full opacity, but that's just a really pretty deepened teal, and that's the shade Hype It Up. And there you can see the applicator. It's got a nice flexibility to it. It almost moves kind of like a brush, and that sponginess holds again a nice amount of product. So again, that's the shade Hype It Up. And then we've got the shade I'm Obsessed. There are a couple of these that are really, really light that'll just be kind of like accent shades. I wouldn't use them to like define with, but they're fun for like the, you know, graphics liner type of deal. So that one is I'm Obsessed. And then there is a white shade called Santorini. So here is Santorini right there. And then I should tell you how much product is in here too. And all Colourpop products are made in the US as well. So there's a total 0.07 ounces of product in these guys. This next shade is called Major Inspo. It's like a pretty coral. That one is Major Inspo. And then we have got Milk Tea, which is a really lovely brown color. So there's Milk Tea right there. And then we've got the shade Mint Frappe, which is a mint color. So that one is Mint Frappe, or is it Mint Frap? And then we've got the black, which is the shade Love Fool, which is a nice inky black color. So that's Love Fool. And then this really pretty kind of purple shade called Drama Free. It's like a periwinkle purple. So that's the shade Drama Free. And then we've got IDEK, which is an even deeper, rich brown shade. Right there. It almost has a bit of like plumminess to it. I actually wore this shade yesterday with the Pat McGrath, that one with the really pretty purple shades in it. One of the Mothership palettes anyway, and it was really, really pretty. And then the last shade is So Winey, which is a beautiful wine color. Right there. So those are the new Colourpop Graphics ink liners right there, and a huge thank you to Colourpop for sending these over. Like, these deep definitive shades I will get some use out of for sure. I forgot the little jewels that came in the Colourpop PR package, so these must be some new colors, which these are super fun to like go to concerts and stuff and stick on your face. I don't know if there's a shade. It says Crystal Face Jewels, and they're like some really pretty neon pink and oranges in there. Just forgot to show those that came in the liner package. And then I got a PR package from Ciate London, and they sent over stuff from their new, like, it's like a coconut kind of range. So they came out with this Everyday Vacay coconut setting powder. I really didn't read the directions on the box. I just went in and used this as an under eye setting powder, and then I read the back of the box, and it does say apply generously to areas with concealer to bake and set makeup. And primarily the only place that I use concealer is underneath the eyes. So that's how I've used this powder, and I'm quite picky when it comes to under eye setting powders. It's just a product that I'm finicky about for underneath the eyes, especially with like little fine lines in my under eye rolls. This is really pretty. It's got a brightening effect because it kind of retains a little bit of the white factor that's in this powder. The flower nose powders that I use a lot, those are very translucent. Even though they look white, there's like no color to them, and the concealer retains its actual color on the skin, if that makes sense. This one has a bit of brightening. It does have a coconut scent to it, and I've got it underneath my eyes today, and it looks really pretty. I've worn it for the past 3 days in a row, and it's not drying. It has a really nice set to it, and it hasn't migrated into my little under eye rolls, and it adds a little bit of brightness as well. So I think it's super pretty. Like, again, I'm really finicky about under eye setting powders, and this was kind of pleasantly surprising for me because I didn't anticipate liking it as much as I do, if you will. So this is the packaging right here. There's a total of 0.52 ounces or 15 grams, and this product is made in Taiwan, and it's just a loose opening in there. And then I'll swatch some of it. It's very, very, whoa, I just dropped the lid. It's very, very finely milled. You can see right there the how it retains that white factor, but super, super silky smooth. And it does have a very light scent of coconut to it. It does not linger on the skin by any means, but really lovely powder for underneath the eyes. I have not tried it all over the face, and a lot of the times when I find a powder that I love underneath the eyes, I like to kind of reserve it specifically for underneath the eyes and use like a different powder for setting on the face. It's like I want to save it for specifically underneath the eyes. I don't know, it's just like a little quirk that I have about under eye setting powders. Anyway, very lovely product there from Ciate London. Again, that's the Everyday Vacay coconut setting powder right there. I need to grab the lid. They also sent this Dewy Bronze Glossy Cheek Tint, and there's 0.33 fluid ounces of product in here, and this one is made in Italy. So here is the box packaging for that one. So it's a stick style product that you pop the top off, and this is a very glossy, sheer bronzy type of stick. If you like that natural makeup look with that really dewy skin, or like that just a hint of dewiness with like no foundation and stuff, I think you'd really like this. For me, it's too glossy to kind of use over my set face, so it does kind of pick up my foundation product. So it's best, I think, to use before you use any powders on your face, and you can really see just how dewy that product is, and it's got a bit of, you know, a bronzy factor to it, but very, very dewy. It does have a coconut scent as well, but it's not like super overbearing or anything like that. So that's the Sayate Dewy Sticks in the bronze shade right there. And then they have two of these lip oils. They've got the coconut lip oil, which is a clear lip oil, and then the shimmering lip oil with the bronze glow, which is in that same bronzy range. These both have a coconut scent to them. The bronze one's got 0.35 fluid ounces, and the clear one has got 0.34 fluid ounces. The clear one's made in China, and the bronze one is made in Thailand. So let me just give you guys a swatch of these for what it's worth. There's the clear one, so you can see it's very, very shiny. It does feel like one of those gloss oil hybrids. Like, it doesn't feel like straight up oil. There's a bit of a tack, like a gloss factor to it, but it's not sticky at all. And it is very shiny. Again, it does have a light coconut scent to it as well. And then we'll do the bronze glow shimmering lip oil, which just has a hint of bronze sparkle to it. The bronze one actually feels like, when I'm like touching them like this, it feels a little bit thicker than the clear version. And that one does have a super light coconut scent to it as well. So those are their lip oils. And lastly, they sent the Dewy Bronze Glossy Cheek Tint in the shade Bronze. So there's 0.33 fluid ounces of product in here, and this one is made in Italy. And it is a squeezy style packaging. Just put a little bit right there, and then give you a blend out. It kind of buffs out much the same as the stick, but it's a little bit more fluid than the stick. Obviously the stick is in stick form and this is in a squeezy tube, but they kind of have that same amount of bronzy effect to it. So that is the Dewy Bronze Glossy Cheek Tint in bronze right there. They're both very, very sheer type of bronze products. An absolute huge thank you to Ciate London for sending over those products. I'll just show you guys what the card looks like, because there are some prices on there as well. For me, I'm a huge fan of that coconut setting powder, like really, really pretty powder. And then lastly, one of my absolute favorite skincare brands is Glow Recipe, and they came out with a new face product. The packaging that this came in is just like the cutest. It's going to be one of those things that's like difficult to toss. So it says The Village and the Glow Fairies, and it's shaped like a book. And then there is a mini story in the front as well, which is very cute. So it's like the theming, the village and the glow fairies, and there's this little story to it about how they end up wanting to get their glow back, and they were able to do that using this product, is kind of how the little story in the beginning reads. Anyway, let's get into the product. It is a really, really cute packaging, and I just got this, so I have not had a chance to use it yet, but I like to use something like this at least once a week. So this is their Watermelon Glow AHA Night Treatment, Glowing Radiance and Smoothing, 2.02 fluid ounces or 60 milliliters. This is the box packaging, and then let's open it up. I adore, absolutely adore a lot of their Watermelon Glow range products. It comes in a jar packaging that kind of looks like their watermelon moisturizer. I think that's the one, but this is what it looks like. Quite heavy glass packaging there. And then I'll kind of read off of the card here. It says launching online 8/7 and in Sephora stores nationwide 8/12. So it is available now. It says inspired by our best-selling Watermelon Glow sleeping mask, this powerful yet gentle overnight AHA treatment resurfaces, hydrates, and brightens for dramatically smoother glowing skin. Irritating acids are a thing of the past with our pH balanced, concentrated 2.5% AHA complex that's proven to be just as powerful and effective as traditional 10% glycolic acid. Watermelon Glow AHA Night Treatment hits the skin's reset button overnight so you can hit snooze in the morning. Right. About that snooze button, no. Anyway, and it says resurface, hydrate, brighten, and firm. 96% agreed skin has long-lasting hydration. That's very interesting in a treatment. I'm all about like products that have the acids. You guys know how much I love acid products, but also like retain the moisture. So I'm really excited to use this. I did do a little bit of acid exfoliation this morning, so I probably will give it a couple days before I use this. But it also says 93% agreed skin looks glowing and radiant, feels smoother and firmer. So that's a little bit of the literature on there. And again, that is the Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow AHA Night Treatment. And a huge thank you to Glow Recipe for sending that over. And that's actually everything that I have for my haul today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Thank you for watching. Do not forget to wear sunscreen, and I will see you guys later. Bye.